The South Carolina Department of Transportation is proposing changes to the Isle of Palms connector. Today, I talked with Ryan Buckhannon, the Isle of Palms council member and mayoral candidate for this edition of Quintin's Close-Ups. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel and like Quintin's Close-Ups on Facebook. Ryan Buckhannon, welcome back to Quintin's Close-Ups.
Thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure.
Oh, likewise. Obviously, you're an entrepreneur and the current obviously Isle of Palms City Council member. And obviously now, after you made the announcement on Quintin's Close-Up, the mayoral candidate for the Isle of Palms.
Yes, sir. I'm looking forward to it. It's been good. I'm getting a lot of support so far moving forward. And I look forward to continuing to serve the residents of the Isle of Palms.
How do you continue to hope to serve them moving forward?
I had posted something earlier on my page yesterday about, obviously we're having a lot of discussion about the bridge and the new markings, the new layouts of the bridge, and and bridges aren't all physical. Meaning, they're not there. We have to have. There's a metaphorical bridge, and we need to reach out to local governments. And they need to work together for the better of the entire area. It shouldn't be us versus them. It shouldn't be Mount Pleasant versus Isle of Palms or versus anybody. I think collectively, everybody needs to work together to solve the area's problems.
And what are the area problems, Ryan?
Right now, as I mentioned last time, a lot of times, it has to deal with traffic. It has to deal with parking. It has to deal with infrastructure and flooding and drainage and kind of the same things that a lot of us are dealing with individually, on our own. But imagine what we could do collectively if we all work together to solve those problems.
And let me just talk to you about the obvious. The South Carolina Department of Transportation is looking to make changes to the Isle of Palms connector, and the planned changes are aimed at increasing safety along the busy road shared by vehicle traffic and obviously pedestrians. How much vehicle traffic is on the Isle of Palms every day?
Well, right now you don't see as much. It's dependent on the time. And obviously, people come in and leave and work, so your mornings are busy, your afternoons are busy. But when we go through and have upwards of 25,000-30,000 people or more traversing that bridge during peak season hours, season times, it becomes an issue. And you probably know you've been stuck in that traffic before, bumper to bumper traffic, and trying to get on or off the island when you get an afternoon thunderstorm pop up, and you get 30,000 people trying to leave the island at the same time. It creates an issue, and a lot of that becomes a bottleneck. There's a bottleneck when people are leaving and trying to get off and trying to get into Mount Pleasant, and it's so those are the issues that we need to work on.
And I've seen it a lot when I've been out running on the connector as well. But how many bicycles actually travel on that particular connector?
That's a great question, Quintin. We see bicyclists, we see running, and I would think that the DOT would use that information in developing a plan. We haven't seen it, and that's the biggest thing is there are 3 agencies that respond to the connector in case of an emergency, depending on where you're at. Right. Part of it's Isle of Palms, the middle of it's Allendale, and the latter portion is Mount Pleasant.
Right.
And neither one of those public safety agencies were contacted, during the development of this plan. So I think, while I understand there needs to be improvement to the connector, and I don't feel safe running it right now, but while there needs to be improvements, I think those public safety agencies need to be contacted as well.
And I'm going to get back to that in just a second, but I know that if this particular plan is improved, the changes will slow traffic and obviously expand bike and pedestrian lanes. Where exactly would the traffic on the Isle of Palms connector be slowed down by?
Well, I think it would just be the ingress and egress.
Okay.
It's just trying to get people on and off the connector. Obviously, like we said, we have issues and it needs to be improved, but I think the traffic flow on the island can be improved along or on and off the island in coordination with improved bike lanes and pedestrian lanes.
And I know but the Department of Transportation, as I go to this side, says, quote, South Carolina, like many other states, is seeing an increase in fatalities and serious injuries associated with bicyclists and pedestrians. SCDOT understands the need to safely design and construct roadways that accommodate all modes of transportation and is incorporating all of these ideas obviously into a complete streets policy. How many fatalities, that is, were on the Isle of Palms connector, say, in 2019?
None that I know, not due to bicycle or people walking on the connector, none.
Okay. And what Isle of Palm city ideas do you want to help the DOT incorporate into their complete streets policy, that is?
I would love to see moving forward, instead of having just, one lane on, one lane off, have a dual purpose lane off. And so the folks that are, because during the summer,
Oh, yeah.
everybody comes out to the island slowly over time. It starts at 8 o'clock in the morning and it goes to the afternoon. So getting on can be kind of an issue. It's when it's the afternoon time when everybody decides to leave at the same time. So we need to double those lanes up. Then when you get across the connector, that needs to be doubled up. So, if we could have 2 lanes going off the connector, going off the island, and 1 lane coming in, and incorporate a bike and pedestrian lane on one side of the connector, I think that'd work great. But again, DOT didn't reach out to anybody within the city to ask for our opinion, or even look at what are some of the issues that, both Mount Pleasant and Isle of Palms is dealing with.
And I know Channel 2 says this quote, concerns among those most affected range from most of the backups in traffic, as you mentioned, to difficulties for emergency vehicles attempting to get over the Isle of Palms connector. This comes just one day after South Carolina DOT announced the plans to revamp traffic flow, a plan that could possibly be just months away from completion if approved. Would the city then ask for a separate emergency lane?
I don't know where they would put it. If the plan is right now is to eliminate the emergency lane now and bring the 2 lanes of traffic closer together and putting bike and pedestrian lanes on both sides, while there's no hard impediments that's stopping traffic from still going into those areas. So, theoretically, if somebody has to, if there's an accident, they can move off to the side of the lane, but now you're in that bike and pedestrian lane again, and it just becomes an issue.
And I know, quote, this proposed plan would direct traffic during an emergency response onto the bike path. Depending on the emergency incident location, this could also cause emergency personnel to work in conditions where traffic would be moving on both sides of the working space. But then how wide would that particular bike path be?
Right. That's an engineer's question. That's not nothing, I would do. I know there are certain standards that they need to have, and we can meet those, but like I said, on both sides of the connector, and it's not only that. Is one of my friends who was also interviewed for that Channel 2 interview also said, it's like having a house party, big kegger party at your house, but only having a 6-pack when everybody shows up. So we're inviting a lot of traffic, a lot of bicycle traffic onto the island, but right now we don't have the infrastructure for that as well. We don't have bike lanes out here, that would meet the need to fulfill that need. So, and we've been lobbying SCOD. We, the city, has been lobbying SDDOT for years to improve bike lanes especially on Palm Boulevard.
Right.
There's more room going down Palm Boulevard on both sides than there is the entire width of the connector. So, we can put bike lanes on both sides of Palm Boulevard, to keep that traffic flowing, and moving up and down there. But those, that has gone ignored basically from SCDOT. We've requested it, and, they have no willingness to do anything for that. So, let
me ask you a simplistic question. Have you been able to talk with State Representative Joe Bustos?
We have, obviously Joe and I ran against each other during the time.
Oh, yes.
I haven't reached out to him recently, and I'm not sure if the city administration has or the mayor has. And but yeah, it'll definitely become part of the discussion.
And when exactly, Ryan, did you hear that the DOT was actually developing a plan for changes on the Isle of Palms connector?
They sent a letter to our administration just over a week ago saying that they were going to present a plan. We got it last week, basically when it was forwarded to us. When I posted on my my Facebook page is when we were made aware of the plan and actually saw it in detail.
Do you know how long the Department of Transportation has been working, say, with the Charleston Moves and the East Coast Greenway to improve bike pedestrian safety in the area of Charleston?
I don't. No, I don't. That information was not made available to us. Like I said, the first time it was made, we were made aware of it is when it was sent to us. So obviously all that discussion had gone on already without any input from the municipalities here.
And when you think of obviously away from the Isle of Palms connector, what is the infrastructure like on the city of Isle of Palms?
It's like I mentioned. I mean, we have a bike lane on a portion of Palm Boulevard between Breach Inlet.
Oh yeah.
And the connector. But still, it's not up to regulation, and that needs to be improved. But then we don't have any bike lanes going down Palm Boulevard where the majority of people park. So if you have bicyclists who are riding there, not only is it dangerous because people are trying to get in and out of traffic there, trying to find places to park, but it gets really congested. And like I said, we've lobbied the DOT for improved bike lanes, or for bike lanes in general, down that stretch of Palm Boulevard. It really has gone unnoticed.
As a matter of fact, you said this quote, there's probably some blowback from that, and we're not only seeing that throughout the state. You know, we're seeing it throughout the county. We're seeing it through different government agencies. There's no doubt there's need for improvements to the connector. What is the city's relationship with the other government agencies?
Well, during COVID, the mayor worked with the other mayor and worked with other surrounding mayors, you know, and like I said, we are not strong mayor form of government, you know, so it's the administration really runs the operations day to day. Our city administrator is phenomenal, and she reaches out to the other neighboring administrators and works with them to try to help solve these problems. But like during COVID, there was basically weekly meetings that the mayors got on phone calls together to try to solve some of the issues that they have.
And this might be a silly question, Ryan, but would these new changes lower the number of cars coming to the island on busy weekends?
No, I don't foresee that happening at all.
Okay.
So yeah, I think it's just going to slow it down.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Ryan Buckhannon, thank you so much for your time. And again, welcome back to Quintin's Close-Ups.
Anytime for you, Quintin. I appreciate it. Thank you. Have a great day.
Likewise.